Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Black. I'm your host, PokeGamer. In the last episode, we kind of did the Relic Castle thing, managed to get our Light Stone, and now we're kind of on our way to Open Lucid to try and figure out all this heavy crap with, you know, the dragons. Off screen I did do a couple things. I picked up Fire Blast and Blizzard from the Icirrus City Pokemon Center. I also gave Shadow Ball to Whimsicott. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place, right when I got it, of course. But yeah, I figured I would do that. I've also been considering a few other moves as well. But yeah. So before we kind of get started, I might do a little bit of backtracking as of the next episode, due to you know, some really good TMs that we are capable of getting now. So I mean, that'll be something that we're gonna end up doing most likely. But where we're at now, we'll probably come back here, or come back to where we leave off here. So I mean, that'll be a thing as well. There are some really good TMs. Examples would be like Thunderbolt. I believe there's Dragon Claw or something like that. I can't really remember. I was looking at all of it earlier. Whenever I was deciding on adding some moves, or obviously just some of the Pokemon that we already gave moves to. So what we're going to be doing today is discussing a few other things in regards to actual moves, because, you know, new Pokemon game usually is a good way to introduce more move tutors, so we'll end up doing that. But before we do, I kind of feel like I need to mention this because a new distribution has been announced. Kind of, sort of. It's already been sort of announced. They're just kind of officially mentioning it. A Pikachu distribution has been announced for Japan. Apparently on June 15th, in 40 locations across Japan, a special Pikachu is to be distributed. This Pikachu is apparently supposed to tie in with the TV show Pokemon Get TV, and will have its full details announced on the episode that is set to air on June 1st. So, something to kind of look forward to, I guess. I don't know, it might be really cool in the sense that it has Surf or Fly or something like that. Maybe some kind of like new, like 6th generation move as well, but I don't know. So yeah, before we even get into the move tutor move stuff, there's something that I stumbled upon while I was looking through moves. There are apparently 2 moves, maybe more than that, of course, but there are 2 moves that I found that currently belong to no Pokemon whatsoever. I don't know how this exactly works. I looked into it a little bit. Apparently someone managed to hack the moves onto a hacked shiny version of Volcanion. But considering the fact that Serebii has all the information on Volcanion, or at least so it seems, the moves probably don't belong to it. I mean, obviously if you're hacking, you can put any move you want on any Pokemon, but yeah, these 2 moves, their names are 1000 Arrows and 1000 Waves. Apparently a lot of people like to speculate that these actually somehow belong to Zygarde, which is actually really possible, considering like in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, we might see them as move tutor, like, you know, exclusive, somehow special move tutor moves for Zygarde. These moves are really good. I don't remember, like, I think that Arrows, if it hits a flying type or whatever, it pulls it down to the ground. Kind of like how Gravity and Smackdown work, but it's a 90 base power ground move. 1000 Waves, I don't remember the added effect. I think it like reduces speed or traps them or something. I think it traps them. And it has the same base power, so 2 90 base power ground moves that have currently no current owner. So it's kind of interesting, and I do kind of agree with the rumor that it might belong to Zygarde. I mean, Zygarde does have an exclusive move already, but if it had something like 1000 Arrows and 1000 Waves, it'd be kind of cool. Groudon also is obviously a ground type, so I mean, who knows, that could be a thing as well. But probably not likely, so I don't know. They're really interesting moves that I stumbled upon. Diamond Storm obviously is really cool for Diancie. I don't know if there's anything, I don't remember if there's anything exclusive for Hoopa, and I know there's something exclusive for Volcanion. It's kind of like a higher base power Scald. But yeah, the fact that like Serebii has no information on like the current like owner of 1000 Arrows and 1000 Waves is kind of interesting. It must mean that it's like a move that you can get in a later game that can be put into X and Y and used and all that other crap. I'm not even sure if there's any like video of them being used or anything. I'll have to look into that whenever I'm done, you know, with this recording. So yeah. I kind of wanted to cover those because I don't know if very many people even know about them. They're really interesting moves, something that I'm kind of hoping isn't just something for legendaries. Maybe it's a move tutor move that'll be introduced later down the line or something. I don't know. Whatever, it's probably stupid to assume that they're move tutor moves that every other Pokemon might be able to get, but I mean, there's no way to really disprove that because we have no idea how the moves are even implemented and all this other crap. At least that's what I'm getting from Serebii anyways. So, moves that I would like to see either return as move tutor moves or be new move tutor moves. I didn't have enough time to come up with very many, but there's a few good reasons for a lot of them, of course. The first one that I really want to cover is Boom Burst. This move has currently only 4 Pokemon that it's accessible to. This is Chatot, the entire evolutionary line of course, you know, fucking, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. The Dragon Wyvern thing. I don't remember what his fucking name is. And then, of course, there's X-Cloud and that evolutionary line. There's something I think I'm forgetting, and I'm not entirely sure. Whatever. The thing is, there are a few other like sound-based Pokemon that you can probably think of. Some of the ones that I came up with were Kricketune, the Yanma line, and the Jigglypuff line. I'm pretty sure that I'm almost positive Jigglypuff has Uproar, which is kind of like a, you know, I'm gonna start yelling at you type of thing, you know, something like that. Boom Burst seems like it would kind of fall in that same line. On top of that, it would be a really good like stab move for Wigglytuff and Jigglypuff because you know, normal types, and it has a good base power, so it might actually make them a little better. Plus Boom Burst is a special attack, which Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff are not physical attackers, at least not that I last remembered. So I mean, that would be kind of good for them. Yanma and Yanmega, they have Sonic Boom, and in the anime they were portrayed to be very powerful with said move, being able to create a loud like burst of sound with their wings. So I feel like Boom Burst would be something kind of cool to have on the Yanma line. Kricketune, obviously it's made to look like it plays instruments and whatnot, so being able to play that instrument extra loud might, you know, make it capable of doing Boom Burst. But that's just kind of a hunch on that one, I guess. But you kind of understand that there are some good Pokemon that actually have that would benefit from Boom Burst. Next is Soft Boiled. This was a previous move tutor move. Not sure when it was last a tutor move, but I do know that there are some Pokemon specifically, like the only one that I can actually think of that could still benefit from it that I know of would be Clefable. Clefable got it in Fire Red Leaf Green if I remember correctly, and outside of that you can't get Soft Boiled on it. I personally had to transfer up a Clefairy from Generation 3 with Soft Boiled, and I had to evolve the Clefairy on X and Y so I could, well, I had to get the Clefairy on X and Y because you can't get Boom Burst you can't get Moonblast on Clefable without it being a Clefairy first. Like, you can't get Moonblast on it if it's Clefable. You have to get it as a Clefairy. So yeah, that was kind of a major pain in the ass. I mean, if I could have just transferred up the like any Clefairy, you know, retaught it or leveled it up and taught it Moonblast and then evolved it and then gave it Soft Boiled by a move tutor, which we don't have any move tutors really in X and Y, it would have been a lot less hassle. But considering that's not the case, Soft Boiled is quite a rare move, especially when it comes to things like Clefable, who will only get it in like Generation 3. But that's ridiculous. This also kind of falls in line with the Generation 3 thing, if I remember correctly, or close enough to it. Body Slam. Body Slam, I don't remember the last time it was an actual move tutor, but I do know that a lot of the competitive Jirachi sets used to run Body Slam because, you know, obviously, Spring Grace is a thing. The same applies to Blissey and Togekiss, though Togekiss is not really a physical Pokemon. It's still something that it can use, of course. But Blissey, with the fact that the Wi-Fi battles on X and Y, unless you do something to control the levels, Seismic Toss only does 50 damage, so you kind of have the ability to make the Body Slam Serene Grace thing an actual, you know, thing, and do the paralysis and all that. It's also a good stab move. So I mean, having Body Slam again as a move tutor move, so that way, you know, so that way you can just be like, oh hey, I don't have to worry about fighting to get Jirachi with Body Slam, all this other crap, like happy crap. It's just a major pain in the ass, really. Next up, this one's kind of minor. The elemental punches. This is probably going to be a given anyways. Usually when move tutors are involved in a game, all the elemental punches are a part of it. I think that out of Generation 6 Pokemon only, there are 3 Pokemon that can benefit from it the most, and only one of them actually gets more benefit than every other, and that would be Pangoro. Pangoro has the Iron Fist ability. I don't remember what punching moves it already has access to, and I'm not sure if it gets the elemental punches via breeding or not, but I do know that it's a potential thing. I know that Hawlucha does not get them, and it could probably benefit from them. Ice Punch is obviously good against Dragon types, Fire Punch against just like whatever, maybe Ice types or something if you're afraid of Ice Beam or something. Thunder Punch is obviously good against other opposing flying types that would resist your fighting typing, as well as, you know, the fact that it's flying versus flying. So I mean, that's kind of another good reason for the Ice Punch as well. The other thing is Chestnut, since it's basically a grass fighting type, you know, that's kind of a thing as well. Like I said though, it's probably very minor, but obviously going to happen because pretty much every time move tutors are involved, the elemental punches are always there. Next is Hyper Voice. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with this, especially with the online services going down as of next Tuesday. You will either want to get your Gardevoirs and Sylveons now, or you will need to pray that they are move tutors later down the line. Of course, if you happen to, you know, have the ability to RNG abuse in black and white, and can breed and do all that, and then transfer up, more power to you. I mean, Hyper Voice will become very rare, and possibly even highly sought after, or at least highly valued when it comes to trading for other good Pokemon. Having Pixelate on Sylveon and Gardevoir makes Hyper Voice a ridiculously powerful alternative to their already powerful Moonblast. So yeah. These next ones are kind of just obvious ones. I don't really know if I need to explain them all that much, so I'm just going to list them all off now, and then I guess I'll try and do like a brief thing on them. Superpower, Knockoff, Heat Wave, Iron Head, and Pain Split. Pain Split, if I'm not mistaken, the only way that Rotom can get Pain Split is from Black and White to Move Tutor. Obviously it's a good thing to have. There are a lot of defensive Rotom that can or do play Pain Split. There's also things like Gengar, stuff like that, like Disable, Pain Split, Substitute, stuff like that. There's a lot of interesting Pokemon that can possibly even get it, but the more notables are obviously Rotom and Gengar. Iron Head's really good because the Fairy typing is now a thing, and Steel types are you know, good against Fairy. The fact of the matter is I feel like having Iron Head as a move tutor move for some Pokemon might make them a little more viable now. The fact that they may be kind of weak to Fairy types, but may not have access to Iron Head yet, and might have it in their coding and we just don't know it. And then whenever Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby come out, they have access to it and they actually become more playable. Things like that. Heat Wave, this is a good move for a lot of fire types in the game. I know that a lot of good Pokemon already get it as like an egg move or whatever, but it's good for doubles. So I can kind of see them actually giving Heat Wave again as a move tutor move as well. Do I even need to explain Knockoff? Knockoff is just amazing in this generation. I don't think that it's immune to anything. I don't remember if Dark has anything's immune to it. I don't think there is, but you know, I could be wrong. I'm kind of still a little tired. But yeah, the fact of the matter is it takes away a very valuable item as well as does more damage because they're holding an item. And pretty much every single Wi-Fi battle that you're going to ever play, or if you're playing on Showdown, every Pokemon for the most part is probably going to be carrying, you know, Knockoff, which is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. So I mean, it's just an overall good move. One of the few Pokemon that, in my opinion, really benefits from it the most is Landorus. There are a few others, of course, but the more notable one that comes to my mind is Landorus. Being able to intimidate, knock off a very relevant item, and then just do a lot of damage because of its decent attack stat and shit. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Superpower is also another thing. It kind of ties in with Landorus. Landorus used to play it in Generation 5. There were various reasons for it. I remember playing it, but I don't remember what my thing was for it. It was just overall a good thing though. I think it was for like ice types or whatever, should you ever actually run into one. So yeah. Anyway, basically we didn't do too much today. We kind of just explored through the route here, and the Moor of Icirrus is what that one other area was called. So what we're going to be doing in the next episode is probably finding a bunch of TMs and shit, and hopefully making progress to the story after that. So if you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.